Bill Teegins.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Eddie Sutton Show. The head coach has been on the road recruiting this week, so we're joined today by Sean Sutton, one of the assistants for the Cowboys. And Sean, you look at the season, another great year for the Cowboys, 24 wins, finals of the Big 8 tournament, you're at the NCAA tournament, but unfortunately at this time of year there's only one team that goes away completely happy.
I think the guys were a little disappointed. I think they wanted to get to the round of the Sweet 16. Something magical happens when you get there, but looking back on the year, I find a stat that was hard to believe. This is the 8th best as far as number of wins ever in the history of Oklahoma State with 24 wins. So they got a lot of things to be proud of. They beat University of Oklahoma twice. They beat Kansas twice, 2 out of 3 times. They finished second in the Big 8, second in the conference tournament, and got to the NCAA tournament and won a game. So a lot of things they can be proud of looking back on their careers.
It was a great year, a lot of exciting things, and this week we're going to take a look back as we go through the program and take a look back at some of those great games that Sean's been talking about. But when we come back, we'll take a look at the first round of the NCAA Midwest Regional right here in Oklahoma City when the Eddie Sutton Show continues. Welcome back to the Eddie Sutton Show. I'm Bill Teegins, joined today by Sean Sutton, one of the assistants on the Cowboys. And Sean, let's go to the Myriad, Oklahoma State, New Mexico State, first round of the NCAA Midwest Regional. I know everybody was pumped up, ready to play in this one.
They were excited to play in our home state, so our fans get a chance to watch us play. It's the first time I'd ever been in the building, first time my father had ever been in the building. And I thought the people in Oklahoma City and the University of Oklahoma who hosted the tournament did a phenomenal job of doing everything. And it's just a great atmosphere and a lot of fun for our guys.
You knew coming into this game that New Mexico State was really a fine defensive ball club, and they showed that in this game.
They really did. They play a 1-1-3 matchup zone, and it's something that you don't see very much as far as cross-college basketball, so it was a challenge to attack it.
Obviously, it was nice to have Randy start out early. He played a terrific game, especially shooting the basketball.
He did. He had 28 points and hit 5 3-pointers and really made some key baskets when we needed him down the stretch.
You know, this game started at 11:25 in the morning. It's kind of a tough time to really get yourself psyched up and ready to play.
It really is that early, and on top of that, the first game in the NCAA tournament is always tough going into it. I think that's why you see some close games. You don't see many blowouts. The nerves, I think it takes a little bit while to adjust.
Boy, Brendan Manzer's played so well for you down the stretch, did the same in the tournament.
He really has. I think he's made everybody here really proud of him and just had a great second half of the season.
Now, defensively, they were doing some things, and what adjustments did you make to attack? Because it was a 1-3-1 look, but all kinds of different things.
Right there you saw Bryant. That's where we tried to get the ball to the short corner there. We call that in the 6 hole, and Bryant rolled down the paint and was able to get the basket. The weak part of that defense was the middle, and we were able to get the basketball there. Good things happened.
The Cowboys on a little run here. Alley-oop inside country really played well defensively. He struggled a little bit trying to get the basketball in the second half, but did a nice job defensively there.
Really, they did a great job of keeping the ball in his hands. Only got 5 looks at the basket as far as 5 attempts. He hit 3 of them and had 11 points, but it was a big factor on the boards and defensively.
Keontae Roberts has really come on well down the stretch too, hasn't he?
Really has. I think he's starting to come into his own. I think next year, entering his sophomore year, that he'll start the season with a lot of confidence. The one thing this summer he has to do is he's got to become a better outside shooter.
One of the things to work on. A guy we're going to miss a lot is Brooks Thompson. Boy, I tell you what, he's been fun to watch when he teams up with Randy from outside.
2 of the best shooters in college basketball, and they were a great tandem in the backcourt shooting the basketball.
Skip McCoy, former Iowa State player, hits one at the buzzer. This is the end of the first half. Cowboys up by 5. Your thoughts at that point?
We're a little concerned, only up 5, especially that last basket. The second half we came out, we regrouped. Our defense really picked up. I think we scored 7 straight. Brooks keyed it there with a layup. And then Randy hits a big 3 here to really get us going starting the second half.
You're up by 12 at one point, as you said, after a 7-point run. Nice defensive work here by Brooks.
He had a lot of steals. I think in this game he had 6 steals, led our team in steals for the year. I think maybe set a single season mark for Oklahoma State.
You know, a lot of people don't realize how good a job he did this year on that. Everybody looks at his scoring and ball handling, but he did a great job defensively.
He had a great career at Oklahoma State, and you look at the statistics, he leads the charts in a lot of different areas, but defense was one of the things that he was really good at.
James Dockery was their big man, Sean, 18 points, and he was a real factor in the middle.
He was. He had a lot of key baskets to keep him in the basketball game. He was a force on the boards, and that was one of the key points going into this game, rebounding. I think we out-rebounded him 34-23, so that was really one of the reasons we won the game.
Boy, Randy, you know, it's funny. I guess shooters are like that. He went through a stretch where it seemed like he couldn't buy a basket, and then especially down the stretch and against New Mexico State, couldn't miss.
Really played well in the Big 8 tournament, got a shot back, and played well in the NCAA tournament. So next year I think you're looking at an all Big 8 performance from Randy.
Well, he had a great game, 28 points, again 5 trays, and it's getting down to the nitty-gritty right here.
Couldn't keep him off the board, so it's Johnny Selvey putting the basketball back in the basket for New Mexico State.
There's a big charging call called right there, so the Cowboys get a little break there and now go to work offensively, get the ball into country. Well, every time he touched the ball against the Aggies, it seemed like he was on the floor. You know, he was knocked down.
I think their game plan was not to let Bryant beat him, and every time they got the ball, they swarmed him and either forced him to kick it out or just fouled him real hard.
There's a missed 3 late in the game. Cowboys come up with it again. It's Brooks with another steal.
Great pass to Randy.
So we're getting down to the last stages of the game. One of the key things was the fact the Cowboys could hit some free throws. You go down to the other side and one-on-ones, and New Mexico State couldn't.
You know, free throw shooting is so important, especially in big games and close games. And fortunately for our guys, it's something that we were able to hit in this game. New Mexico State missed a couple opportunities.
Under 3 minutes left, you're up by 7 at this point. And again, Country is getting hammered, but did a nice job from the free throw line. He struggled there. It seems like when he's good, he's very good, and when he's struggling, it's really been a struggle.
He's off and on, but down the stretch, I thought the second part of the season he really shot his free throws well and really shot with a lot of confidence, and that's something that he's got to carry on to next year.
That's a big tray again, and some happy faces along the Cowboy bench, and there's the final. The Cowboys win that one 65-55, so the most important thing at this stage is you've gotten through that first game.
1-0 in the tournament, and I think the guys were excited to win a basketball game, advance to the next round, and you know, looking forward to playing Tulsa.
Well, when we come back, we're going to take a look at that game. It was a great basketball game if you didn't care who won it, and we'll take a look at the Golden Hurricane and at the Oklahoma State Cowboys when the Eddie Sutton Show continues. Welcome back to the Eddie Sutton Show. I'm Bill Teegins. The head coach has been on the recruiting trail, so one of his assistants, Sean Sutton, has joined us. And Sean, we're getting ready to take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, second round of the Midwest Regional in Oklahoma City. Well, what a great event, though, for the state of Oklahoma.
It really was, because the state of Oklahoma was focused in on across the the nation, and they saw 2 very good basketball teams go head-to-head again. And we had beaten Tulsa 73-61 earlier in the season, but right now they're really on a roll and playing well.
Well, they had some momentum, obviously, after that huge win over UCLA.
They were great against UCLA, and they continued the first couple of minutes against us, jumping out 8-0 on us.
But that's the first bucket of the game for the Cowboys, and Bryant, especially in the first half, had a terrific game.
Maybe played his best half of basketball this year in the first half against Tulsa. Had 19 points, was very emotional, very energetic, had 4 blocks. And when he plays like that, I'm not sure there's a better center in college basketball.
I would agree with you. And Keontae Roberts off to a good start, did a nice job right there.
Really did, the best driver on the team.
Cowboys come up with the turnover here. Really, when you look at the stats, they were all about as close as the final score was when you look at rebounds, turnovers, and shooting percentage.
And both teams shot over 50%. Both teams only had 8 turnovers. The rebounding was fairly close.
That Collier can certainly shoot the ball, can't he?
He's really a tough challenge defensively, because he can take you on the floor and shoot the basketball well from the 3-point line, but he can also go inside and post you up, and you'll see that a little bit later on in the tape.
Brendan Manzer getting the start in this game, and I thought he played very well. And again, good ball movement by the Cowboys.
We knew they didn't have anybody inside to stop Bryant. He had 32 points in the game and really played a great offensive game.
Brendan, again, it's been nice to see the guys who have worked so hard come off the bench and play so well.
Just a guy that I think everybody in this state, in this town, having grown up in Stillwater, is awful proud of Brendan, the way he played down the stretch, because he was a key role in our stretch drive. I think he led the team in 3-point percentage at 48% on the year.
And of course, he helped get that turnover started. Now we're down the other way, and Tulsa shooting the basketball.
That's the problem. He presents Collier when he goes inside. We didn't have anybody really could match up with him when he went into the post area.
Randy Rutherford hitting the tray. He had 3 of those, finishing with 12 points.
Tulsa was in a 2-3 zone those 2 possessions, and we hit 2 threes, and they jumped back out of it and went back man.
You know, Bryant, one of the things I think he improved on more than anything this year was his ability to block shots, and he certainly showed that against Tulsa.
He was really active, and when he's like that, he's a force down low.
And even offensively, when he can get that ball and do a little spin move like that, a little hook, there's another block.
He's just a lot better basketball player, and he's quick on his feet, and he's into the game. And there's no doubt that Bryant Reeves wanted to win this game in a big way.
So after being down by 8 to start the game, the Cowboys up by 5 at this point. Still another block into the hands of Brooks Thompson. And here's Mr. Manzer. He had 11 points, a couple of trays, and Big one in the second half as well. Boy, I tell you, Country just was really a force, as you said, 19 in the first half, 32 for the game.
Really posted strong, gets the putback here, you'll see.
Yep. What did you think of the crowd? I thought just the fact that the games were in Oklahoma City, I think everybody really enjoyed being there. The crowd seemed to get into it.
I think it was great for the state of Oklahoma, like I said earlier, and the fans to see that regional in Oklahoma City. I think that they did a great job as far as the turnout, and they saw some awful good basketball in that two-day period.
This is the end of the half, and Brooks hits the shot from almost mid-court.
I'm not sure he practiced that one very much, but we were happy that it went in.
Give you a little momentum, really? Does a shot like that help you out?
I think it really does. We went up 11 at the half, and you see our guys where they're bouncing into the dressing room. Certainly we didn't think we had the game won at that point, but we were feeling pretty good about ourselves.
There's Country's stats, and now we're back, and you get off to a good start in the second half.
Great play in transition. Brooks with a good pass to Keani running the floor.
Bryant is so much better this year, too. When he's pushed out a little bit further, he can still make that basket. But Tulsa's starting to light it up as well, and this became a real battle. Terry Collins off the bench with a nice job.
He really did. He had 6 points and made some nice defensive plays and stepped up and hit some baskets for us, so that should give him a lot of confidence going into his senior year.
What did Tulsa do defensively that changed in the second half? Obviously tried to keep the ball from getting into Bryant.
Well, they dropped off a couple of our shooters. They dropped off Keontae, they dropped off Terry, and they were almost daring those two guys to shoot the ball from the perimeter, and they were using their guys to cover Bryant inside. Great pass by Keontae to Bryant.
Great ball movement there by the Cowboys. Things still look to be pretty good shape.
It's a big basket for